Hello and welcome to Nicole Reacts, a show in which I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for 15 years, in that time having worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So I know a fair bit about things like social media marketing, email marketing, website building, and that kind of thing. So I do these kind of videos once a week. So there's about 70 of them, I think, in the folder right now. If you want to see the whole collection of videos, you can either go to the Nicole Reacts playlist on my YouTube channel, or you can check out the blog section of my company website and click on Nicole Reacts and you'll see the episodes there. And I really appreciate any watch time, any subscribing. My goal by the end of 2023 is to be able to monetize the channel, and I am over halfway there. So I hope if you like this, you consider subscribing or otherwise watching more videos. Thanks so much. So today's person is Angie Bellmare, and for the life of me, I cannot remember whether it was DC, the Clown Town, or Danielle Ryan that did a broadcast about her or a video that I saw recently, but I will link all three creators in the show notes because they're great. And I decided that I had to look into this person, and she has an hour-long video about social media, which we'll react to. But first, let's get a little background. She graduated with an architecture degree, but right now she's a beach body person. So she makes her money in MLM, but it seems like she has other streams of income as well, including a $27 ebook about creating social media content. So now you see where my interest comes in, right? Because this person's talking about marketing, but she also sells planners. So I want to look at both her planner website and then her sort of general website. And then we're going to watch this social media secrets video that's about an hour long. So this might be a two-parter. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is her general website. As you see, it features planets pretty prominently and also fitness. So what's interesting is she has this thing called Virtual Fit Gym. And the way that it's talking about this, it seems like this is sort of programming that she's developed, but apparently it might just be Beachbody programming. And what's really interesting is she did a live or an Instagram on the video I was watching from one of the creators I mentioned. And she was saying how she hasn't done a Beachbody workout in like a year. So it's a little confusing whether she's repackaging Beachbody content as her own by calling it Uproar Fit Gym, or whether she is coming up with her own stuff. She has some things for sale, apparently not there though. This is her Content Machine Academy. So that is the thing that I was telling you about. And there is an ebook somewhere because I saw it, but there's also apparently a $397 course about building a content machine. It's a guru price. It ends in a 7. Of course it does. Also, that's like the most expensive teachable thing I've ever seen. So my dream life blueprint, as you see, she has a free download, which gets you into her little funnel. I'm just looking to see. All right, so checking the code. It's actually a Squarespace website, but I mean, there's only so many ways you can structure an e-commerce website. So I think the idea with giving away the free book, obviously she gets your email and then she can market to you. Let me check out, okay, her daily grind planner. I don't know. Can we look inside the planner? I want to watch a whole video about it, but maybe I'm just going to watch it with the sound off and just kind of fast forward. I just want to see what it looks like in the planner. Show me the planner. Okay. Just trying to figure out, like, does she have it set up like this, or is this a dot grid journal? That's what I'm trying to understand. If this is just a bullet journal, you don't have to buy a whole program about setting up a bullet journal. You can just buy stencils like that, lay stuff out like this, and buy your own notebook, like whatever you want, whatever color you want, and you can use your own pens or markers or whatever. So it seems like this is just her trying to sell you setting up a bullet journal, of which there's plenty of resources with how to do this. All right, so this is the daily planner. It's sold out, guys. I don't know. I like how it's shows the front and the back cover. And then here's a look inside. and a few tips on how to use each of these custom printed pages. Okay. So are these pre-laid out then? So it's just a bullet journal that's been printed out? Again, this is literally bars, boxes, and writing. Like, you can do this without buying a whole journal, and then you can put whatever you want on it. Oh my god, it's $37.99. That's crazy. Okay. All right. And what's funny is we keep going between angiebellmare.com and the Daily Grind, and then there was like a third website that wasn't loading. So this is just really confusing. Let me just check on her merch. God. So donutsdumbbellsdreams.com was apparently a Wix site, but now it doesn't go anywhere. All right. So on the Join My Team page, apply to join my team. As if she's just not going to accept anyone who joins her team. So there is your name, IG handle, age range. Where are you coaching from? Okay, she's asking the countries because I'm guessing these are the Beachbody countries. Are you already a coach or working with one? What motivates you the most? So maybe she just wants to make sure she's not poaching you from somebody else that she shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know if her morals and ethics are that substantial. She does have a YouTube channel. Again, we're going to go watch the video on her channel, but she has 377,000 subscribers and new videos every week, supposedly. So we were just on angiebellmare.com, and parts of it were redirecting to this dailygrindplanner.com. And this is where she has her little, she's an Ottawa, Canada born architecture grad turned content creator and entrepreneur. She's the author of How to Build a Content Machine, the creator of the Content Machine Academy, founder of Upward Fit Gym, Daily Grind Planner, and Donuts, Dumbbells, and Dreams lifestyle brand. So I'm guessing she has a lifestyle brand. Maybe she also does some like influencer type work where she gets like paid sponsorships. All right, so let's take a look at her planners. God, these covers are not very attractive, in my opinion. Okay, and she's selling pens and highlighters and all of that. I wonder how much of this is like drop ship from Alibaba or something. Because this looks like pretty basic stuff. Stickers, decorative stickers, summer deco. Hold on. I'm just going to pick one of these as an example. We're going to search by image. Let me upload the screenshot. I just want to see if these stickers exist anywhere else. Okay, so this particular arrangement of pictures looks like it is on her website because it says it's dailygrindplanner.com, but it's also pulling up similar kinds of imagery from iStock Photo, from freepic.com, from adobe.com, Shutterstock. So what I'm wondering is, like, did she just download a bunch of freely available graphics, put them on a sheet, and is just printing it off? Let's see how much it costs again. I'm curious. $5. Okay. I mean, it looked like the ones that were on Etsy were similarly priced. So anyway, all right. So we're looking inside the planner. It's just really unclear to me how much of this you're setting up as the person buying the journal and how much of this is already on the page, because every example is showing her writing in it and it looks already filled out. And it has a sort of ringed spine. And so I guess you could just put replacement pages into it. So is it literally on the page? Is it just the box and then the little circles next to it? And then you write in don't forget and you write in these things? Or does it say don't forget and has the circles? And then you fill in the things not to forget. Maybe I'll check FAQ. Maybe that'll tell me. Why did the Daily Grind Planner choose a disc-bound system? The Daily Grind disc-bound planner is one you'll use cover to cover. We found to be true that coil-bound system is once someone missed a page, it set their entire planner out of sorts and hurt their motivation to continue. I mean, you could just rip out the page, but okay. We love that seasonal cover launches. Okay, so it's the ability to like say, okay, you're going to just buy into this system and then you're going to get replacement covers, replacement pages, that kind of thing. But again, I'm just trying to figure out like, okay, how is the Daily Grind disc planner different from the original Daily Grind planner? interchangeable covers and pages for completely flexible planning and goal setting, a more travel-friendly, durable format with a new matte hardcover finish and corner protectors. So here's the thing. I'm in the process right now of switching everything to the iPad, or at least trying to think that way. And I'm excited about it because I spend a lot of time scanning my notes because I've been a bullet journal girly for a while. So every year I buy a bullet journal, I put the little tabs in for the different months, and I have lots of pages for notes. So every year I buy a different color cover so that I don't mix them up. These are just the last 3 years of them, and I just keep them on my shelf. So if I ever want to refer to my notes, I can. Now, here's the thing. This journal came blank. It just has a bunch of blank pages in it, which I customize for my own uses. What I'm trying to understand is the level of customization that this comes with. And she's talking about it having habit tracking pages and 30-day planners and all of that. And these are all very standard bullet journal layouts, to the point where you can actually buy stencils that will just help you lay them out if you like that sort of thing. Let's see if I used one in this one. Yeah, I apparently did. So this is one of the layouts. Like, it gives you little squares and you just draw them in. Like, I think the stencils are literally like $15. I like the Rhodia because I love the little tree logo, but also it's small enough that I can fit it in a crossbody bag. Like, it's about the size of a paperback. It's not very thick. And it has a couple of pockets inside. And this format just works really well for me. Now, the thing with a ringed binder is this gets caught on stuff as you're putting it in and out of your bag, right? Also, this is not the great size, but I was trying the Rocket Book system of taking notes for a while, and it just wasn't working for me. In particular, it completely fucked me over. I had taken a bunch of client notes. I left it in my car on a warm day. And because the ink is erasable, which I didn't understand was going to happen when I left it in the hot car, it erased all of my notes. And all the people in the online community said, just put it in the freezer. They'll come back. They did not come back. So ever since then, I don't trust it. So I keep it because I'm still open to the possibilities I might have, but the ringed stuff just gets caught. I don't like it. I much like the smoother edge. And like I said, this can come in and out of my bag. It's not going to scratch anything. It's not going to get caught on anything. So I'm not sure about the ringed system in terms of it being very transportable. I would love to hear your thoughts if you also have deep thoughts about this like I do. So another common thing with bullet journals is you're concerned about bleed through because you're writing on pages and you don't want to see through to other pages. You want to be able to write in it and not worry about it transferring. So let's see how she answers that. Can you guarantee no bleed through with your planners? They're made of very thick stock. This ensures the ink from your pen or highlighter is never see through to the back of the page. So I think she's saying no bleed through, but maybe a little differently. Okay, this is funny. Why are they 4-month planners? So that she can sell them to you 3 times a year. The Daily Grind Planner was created as a 4-month goal setting system because we see 4 months as a sweet spot. It's enough time to accomplish your major goals. It's not as overwhelming as a 12-month planner would be. I'm really curious if this planner came out before or after hold on. Okay, so I had to look this up. There is a very famous book called The 12-Week Year that came out in 2013. So I think she's basically borrowing some ideas from this kind of setup. So yeah. Also, then she can sell you, like I said, multiple planners in a single year. All right, let's go back. I want to look at, what is your refund policy? Items can be returned for a refund, must be returned in new condition with the original packaging and contents within 30 days of receipt and delivery. If the usability of your planner is deemed affected upon receipt, you may provide photos to help@dailygrindplanner.com. Your satisfaction is our top priority, and we will assess each situation individually. In short, their return policy is going to be garbage. Okay, let's see. Can I return a planner purchased from Amazon? Yes. Send us an email and we will assess your situation and act accordingly. So she is not at all committing to a return policy. Interesting. And because I didn't see it somehow as I was navigating her webpage, this is the How to Build a Content Machine book. It is, as you see, $27.99. And can we see in it at all? No. We just have to take her word that it's going to be good and it's going to actually help us lay out content. Got it. The video we're going to be reacting to today is on her channel. It's called Social Media Secrets 2020. So obviously it was filmed in 2020. I wanted to watch it because it's an hour long, and with longer format presentations, I expect the person to have time to show stats, show examples, show how-tos. If it's just a short video, we can use the excuse of like, oh, they didn't have time to really get into it. But with an hour, I think we should at least have a few nuggets in there. Should being the keyword. I'm not really expecting there to be a lot. I kind of scanned through the video and it seems like she's just talking to camera the whole time. So I'm just going to put her sort of above one of my shoulders here. And if she does show a graphic or something, I'll make her big. But anyway, let's take a look. All right, Angie, let's see what your secrets are for social media marketing. Volume is maxed out. So here's hoping this is going to work. Interesting outfit choice. I'll give her that. Listen, I get that I'm not the best video editor, but this doesn't seem very businessy to me.
All right.
Oh my God, throughout the video, I think because she's wearing like a sort of tube top, she might position herself where she looks naked. So just want to assure you right now that she's just wearing a top that just comes down lower. Don't be too alarmed. I appreciate the commitment to buying a neon sign that says donuts, dumbbells, and dreams, but not maintaining the domain that is associated with that part of her business.
Right. We are live. Let's hang out. Let's chat about all of the things. Andre is on live as well, and he's going to be answering questions in the chat section.
Good for you for hiring a producer to help you answer questions or to otherwise keep things on track. Angie, good call. A lot of these people like try to handle everything themselves and don't handle it well. So I'm glad she has some help. Maybe this will increase the production value.
And I will, of course, be answering questions in the comment section after this as well. So this is live. And the kind of perk I feel of being on the premiere and the live part of the video is you get to interact and chat.
She keeps looking naked. I'm assuring you, if you're just listening to this, like I said, she's just has a giant bottle of water that's mostly gone and has this donuts, dumbbells, and dreams neon sign behind her. And she's wearing a tube top and she kind of shifts around and it looks like she's naked. So that's all you're missing here. So if you hear me snickering, it's likely because of just the way that the camera makes it look.
And hang out with everybody and really experience it first. Like I feel like that the countdown part is really fun with the music. It's very cool. I love it. And I intend to do that for most of the videos on this channel going forward because I feel like it's really cool, the community that we've set. And I hope that there's a ton of people on right now just that'll enjoy this and that'll value it and that will gain value from it more than.
Listen, I love a live video too. In particular, if you're interacting with the people who are live with you, I think that that's really fun. I think only doing live content might signify that you don't feel like editing video because there isn't that expectation of editing with a live stream. Not to sound cynical, but that might be part of it too.
Anything. That's why I do what I do. I don't do it with, and we're going to talk about this, like you've got to figure out why do you want it all? Like what's it for? And when I put myself out there and there's a video that
I thought this was about social media marketing. Why do we want it all? Maybe we just want to get better at social media marketing.
It's going to go up soon on my main channel where I'm talking about skin and I'm talking about stuff that I use. And I told Andre yesterday, my mindset whenever I'm doing a video or doing a post on my Instagram, really the core of it is even if there is one girl out there that goes, oh my gosh, like, thank you for sharing that. Like, thank you just for your honesty and your authenticity. That is why I do it. So if there's ever a question in my mind of like, oh, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, should I share that? Yes. To me, the answer is I do it because if that girl can feel better and gain some form of value or her life becomes easier for it, then I've done my job. And that's really the simplest way that I can explain what I've learned this year. Like, I feel like I saw so much growth on social media in 2019 and heading into 2020, especially at the tail end of 2019, because I just found my way. And I have 5 questions that I kind of asked myself that just realigned me. I'm going to share everything with you guys tonight, like all of it.
I'm going to check really quick about what her social blade looks like. She said that she really grew between at the end of 2019 to 2020, and it does look like that's happening. So ahead of this, like that little blip in July of 2019 is like 2,000 followers or something, or like 1,700 or something. Then she gets 6,000 followers. It looks like kind of toward the end of 2019, one of the months. She gets about 3,500 the next month. So she did get a sort of spike around then. It kind of seemed to stay high through sort of mid 2021, and then peaks go down. So it does seem like she did have some growth at the period that she says she had some growth. So
if you guys are excited, if you guys are pumped up, let me know in the comments. Do that little, there's like a ducky smiley face. There's so many different like smiley faces and like thumbs ups and hearts and all the things. So share it all. Feel free to ask whatever you want. I will do my best to answer everything. So let's do this. Let's jump into this. One, let's just start with I feel like this is so much. We're getting into it. Like the truth of the truth. And I really hope you're taking notes. Question one to ask yourself: would you follow you? If you landed on your page, if you stumbled upon your own page right now, in this day, would you be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to follow her? Or do you have a long drawn out explanation as to maybe not right now?
I think this can be a bit of a logical fallacy because you are not necessarily your customer, right? So, for example, let's say that you are a private chef and you are looking to connect with sort of wealthy people who want private chefs in a certain geographic area, and maybe your focus is on healthy food. The content you're going to post to attract that customer might not necessarily be content that you as a person are interested in. I think it's important that you're putting out content that you're proud of, or putting out content that is true and that you believe in. But if your account is speaking to a person that you are not, yeah, you might not follow your own account. I think that's okay.
Because if that's what it is, then why in the world would someone that doesn't even know you follow you?
The question you can ask is, say, why would somebody follow my account? And if you can't think of concrete reasons why somebody would want to follow your account, that's something to look into. But I don't think you following your own account, like if you just saw you in the wild, would you follow you? I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to sort of get at potentially the heart of the social media issue.
And that is my little ounce of tough love that I needed to give myself. And I needed to really look at, okay, what am I doing? What's working? What's not? And if I wouldn't follow me, then why would my target audience follow me? And my target audience, newsflash, your target audience is you.
Not necessarily.
Usually whenever we do our, like the whole avatar thing and we're like, okay, this is my ideal client. This is my ideal person that is following my social media. And you describe that person, cool. It's usually you either current day or like a couple of years ago, or like before you started your journey or before you figured yourself out. It's usually you. So
I disagree with this.
Whenever, if you're,
I think it's important to know your customer. And I think it's important for you to, if you do not fit your customer avatar, to be regularly having conversations or interactions with people who do fit your customer avatar. But yeah, I don't think this is necessarily the case. I guess if you're in network marketing, it might be the case because you're probably trying to sell to people who are like you. Again, this might make sense through a network marketing lens, but through running a business lens, not necessarily.
If you're a mom, you're probably looking at like helping moms with mom tips. If you are a dog mom, you might be doing that. If you're a business owner, you might be doing that. If you found your way in health and fitness and you're a coach, by the way, my team is on right now. This is our team call. So we do a team call every week. And I did this last week where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it public and you guys can hop on YouTube and we're just gonna share it with the world.
So she's getting content for her social media and she's meeting with her team and seen as giving them FaceTime with just one interaction. Smart, Angie.
Call usually looks like there's sometimes slides and stuff, and I will pop some stuff up. I have my laptop with me. So I will pop some stuff up on the screen and share things with you guys and share.
She's going to share. Okay, maybe she's on her computer. I guess that would explain the YouTube like aspect ratios. If she has a webcam and she's sharing it on her computer. So maybe she's going to share slides. Like I said, I hopped ahead in a couple of spots and just saw her talking. So
there's some visuals, but this is really what it's like on our team. So this is like our Thursday night team call at 8 p.m. So welcome.
My God, every Thursday night you would have to be on a call. Oh, that sounds exhausting.
Team Uproar, if you guys are on, let me know in the comments. I'm sure that most of you guys are probably coaches. And if you're not on Team Uproar, it's totally cool. You can be watching this, no worries.
Team Uproar is the name of her team as part of Beachbody. It sounds like. She hasn't said the word Beachbody at all, though. She just is saying like coaches and health. She's kind of dancing around it.
And if you are not a coach, I hope that you can gain value from this, even if you have a business or you don't. And I'm going to talk about goals and like all of that.
If you have a business or don't, but isn't this about using social media as a business?
Stuff as well. So first, would you follow you? Looking at your page, the look of your page, the mood of your page, the vibe, how much new content is coming into it. Like these are all questions that I ask myself. And I will be honest, I was way too MIA. I was super, super adamant and I was posting daily and then I would go MIA for 2 weeks plus. Stories and all, I would be MIA. Does your page look somewhat consistent in terms of how consistent are you posting, but also the appearance? And I know that this question is going to come up. Presets. So a lot of people, that's like the vibe right now is everybody wants to know about presets, like the biggest hype. I think that presets, you need to understand that what it is exactly that word. It is a predetermined setting in which you edit your photos. So I've done a training on this before. I will link it down below because it is a great training on social media. I talk about presets. I actually screen record how I edit my photos and the presets that I use. Now, I know that this is the other question.
I'm surprised she doesn't sell presets as part of her product line. Maybe I just didn't get to that part of her site.
And I'm just going to do it. And I'm probably going to give my husband a heart attack because this is how I operate. I will get you guys a preset. You guys keep asking me to put out a line of presets. I will get you a preset. I will put them up in like the next week or so, and it'll be announced on my Instagram. Okay. I'm just going to do it.
Okay. It looks like, okay, she is going to sell us something. She's just preparing to sell us something.
With the blue sky and the pink so the way that I do it is I always have a theme. So if you were to go to my Instagram right now, there is always, I'm going to pull it up. There is always like a color theme. I will tell you how I do that. And this is, you guys are going to see like the business.
The other thing that I forgot to say is she's a Disney adult. So you're seeing a lot of Disney content. That's why. That's part of her personality.
Angie tonight, and like it's not the Angie that you might be used to on my channel where I'm like, and this and that. And I'm usually like very bubbly, but the business side of me is very real. Like if you're not seeing the results that you want in your business and on social media, you got to shift something. And you need to be real with yourself. And that's, I think, something that I'm very good at. And I don't ever mean like tear yourself down. I mean, cut the BS and get real with yourself. So
yeah, get real with the fact that it's really hard to sell a product whose production and price you have no control over, that a bunch of other people are selling, some of which who are on your team, who you're sort of competing with, and that your income is determined by how many other people you can get to come and compete with you. That's what you need to get real with yourself about. It has nothing to do with you using the wrong presets or not having a color theme on your Instagram. If you're not being successful at network marketing, I suggest, even if you're not sure about quitting just yet, start a side business, a service-based local business. Maybe you offer to do graphic design for people. Maybe you mow lawns. Maybe you help people plant flower beds, whatever. And market that business and do that business on the side too, and see which one you're more financially successful at. And then make your decision from there.
Here's my other ounce of realness. And I'm so scared to offend people, but maybe a lot of you guys need to hear this.
I really don't think you care about offending people.
If you're using presets and you're like, well, the preset doesn't work or it doesn't look good, and you might have already said this out loud or typed it in the chat. And if you're finding that, it's your photo.
Yeah, guys, it's not the product that I'm selling you that's wrong. It's the photo. And listen, I'm not saying that the best way to get a good picture is to take a good picture, and you can sort of do some improvements in post-production, but if the picture really sucks, sometimes you just can't make it work. I understand that. But sometimes a particular filter or preset just doesn't work for a photo. So just don't use it.
Crappy base photo, it's like slapping a piece of poop on a rose petal, or a rose petal on a piece of poop. That's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to grab something that is supposed to beautify, like putting some blush on like nothing.
Can you show us an example of a photo that is just too terrible to work with? So, showing a couple of good photos using a preset and then one bad one that is not well composed, or, where, the lighting is really terrible or something, to just show that it doesn't work. I think that would be helpful. People need to see what makes a bad photo. They don't necessarily know.
That's exactly what I think that the problem is if the picture isn't well lit, if it's terrible and uninspiring and dark and maybe not even gloomy, because gloomy could be the mood that you're going for. So it's not about that. But I just think if you don't have a good, clear base photo, and there is no excuse for that, your phone takes the best photos. This is what I take my photos on my phone.
Can you show us some examples of good versus bad photos?
That's it. And I sometimes use my good camera, but most 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, it's my phone.
And why don't you show a couple of pictures you took with your phone and a couple of pictures you took with your good camera, and show how they're different, so that if someone is trying to make the decision, should I get a better camera, or they can see the difference.
So you need
We did a headshot day at my co-working space, and I had the photographer come in and do a test shot with me. And then I took one on my phone on the same day, and I put them next to each other to promote the headshot day. And I said, hey, here's the difference between like an iPhone picture and a professional picture. And it's the same lighting. I'm wearing the same outfit. It was taken on the same day. And you can see the difference between them. So people seeing that, they signed up for a headshot because they're like, oh, I see the difference. So again, she could have prepped this ahead of time. She could have spent like 5 minutes grabbing a similar photo in a good camera, a similar photo in an iPhone camera, and talk about the difference in outputs that you can see.
a good photo, and I will give you my honest feedback. You aren't trying enough. For every photo that I post, I have taken at least 20 plus to maybe 100 versions of that photo. I am not even kidding.
So what's she changing? Is she changing like the lighting source? Is she changing the angle? How is she taking 20 different versions of the same photo? Maybe give some tips about that. Maybe she's about to.
Let's go into Angie's album section. So just even a thumbnail for my IGTV, there's like 15 different versions.
I think people don't mind taking different versions. They're just not sure how to change it up. So maybe you can tell them some of the things that they can vary, how they can vary their lighting, how they can vary the angle at which the picture is taken, how they can change maybe what's being focused on. So maybe in one version of the picture, it's my face, and maybe in the other version of the picture, it's like the product that I'm holding in my hand. Give them some ideas of how to change that picture up.
That photo that went up on my feed yesterday with all the planners, that's how many versions that there was.
Yeah, we get it. We get that you're doing that. And most of us who have ever hired a professional photographer for anything know that we're getting the best pictures from their camera roll. That's part of what we're paying for, is that they're taking multiple ones and we're getting the best ones. But why don't you tell people how to vary it?
I'm trying to find you guys some examples of the one that
Because she clearly does her own photography. So she theoretically knows something about photography, right? So why not share that knowledge with the team rather than shaming them for not taking enough pictures?
posted by the fire with the socks. That's how many versions there was. You've got to put effort into things that you want to be able to translate. If you want it to translate, if you want it to do well, and by translate, I mean convert. If you want it to do well on your page, you have to put effort into it. Wherever energy flows, wherever attention goes, energy will flow. I've always found that to be true. If you pour your energy into it, it will grow.
I also think this can gaslight people who are really trying to make their network marketing business work. They have been trying, and then to hear someone like you say, oh, you're not trying hard enough. I don't know. It's just really discouraging. Instead, saying, okay, well, let's take a look at what you've been putting out there. Okay, I'm seeing this pattern. What if we tried this? Is much more helpful than shaming someone for not working hard enough.
Always, but you've got to have that give a shit factor. So I will come up with presets, but just know a preset is basically using the Lightroom app. So there's an app called Lightroom, and whenever you load a photo into it, so let's just say the one with Carl, Yeah, this is a great example. So I'll share this up on the screen right now, but that's the difference. So even if your picture is a bit dark or not well lit, you can lighten it. You can do all of these things in Lightroom. A preset, what it does is basically just allow you to have a level of consistency, which I'm going to get into, and how to do that and like how to save time and all of this. But a preset really is just that you paste it, that it's quick. It's like, it's the same thing every time. It's the same amount of light in there. It's the same amount of sharpness. It's the same amount of coloring that's pink. Here's the other thing with.
So the other thing you can do is download a photo editing app onto your phone. So Snapseed is free. It's owned by Google. There might be other ones like it, but essentially you can make all of these adjustments. And if you spend like 30 seconds on your picture, it is going to look better. You are going to fix lighting issues. You're going to fix, some color issues, because like you saw the thing, like you took the picture, and sometimes what comes out in terms of the image just doesn't match what you were seeing. So like you're just trying to sort of make the photo match the reality that you saw, right? So you can do that. Also in Canva, you can do a lot of photo adjustments. So you don't need to buy Lightroom to do this. I guess if you want to do presets, I am 99% sure that GIMP, which is the open source version of Photoshop, that's free. You can, I think if you were going to bulk edit like 100 photos or something and you wanted to do the same like color treatment to all of them, you can create an action. You can load the photos and create an action and just have it execute the action automatically. But I think most of us are just editing a few pictures at a time. So I think the preset can be overkill. And if you really like the way you edited one of your photos, you can just write down, okay, like how much brightness, how much contrast, you can write the levels of it down and just do that again. It could just be in the notes part of your phone or something.
Consistency in my feed, that what I was sharing with you guys. One, good base picture. Two, there's always a main color. So whether you notice it or not, depending on the season or just that time and place that I'm in, there's a theme. So that was very, very apparent in the fall and during the holidays. That's easy. So in the fall, if you go through my page, it's all orange and blues, like, and a lot darker too, which that's what I'm saying. Like if your page is moody, that's fine. Like there's people that do really, really well on Instagram with like a super moody, dark tone, like oversaturated or even undersaturated, which saturation just means like the brightness of color, where you have like the dehaze effect and it's gloomy, but it's cool. It's like moody and vibey. So I did that for the holiday or for Halloween and fall. And then leading into Christmas, it went like blue and then red. And the way that I do that, you guys, is every single photo always has something of that color in it. So when you go through, even if every single photo doesn't have it, almost every photo has it. And it just catches the eye and you almost feel like you're in that era with that person. Like you can see the chunk in time together. And then what I did is on January 1st, I shifted slowly. Like as soon as I did the clean with me and like what I got for Christmas, there's a bit of pink that I introduced into the photo. And then there was a little bit more pink. And then it's just pink and white. Like that's all that.
Oh my God, this seems exhausting.
It is. So I'm not saying do pink and white. And I'm going to talk about this also. Be yourself, be genuinely you. If you hate the color pink, please don't post the color pink. And there is nothing that irks me more than when and I'm going to get into like passion and what you want to talk about. But if you can't answer for yourself, like what lights you up and what you want to share, and you're saying it based off of what someone else is doing, there is no way you will stick with it. So
I love how we've only had one question so far, that would you follow you has been the only question, but there's 5. We're 12 minutes in.
That's my next part. Okay. So
she's like, I've been going on about this for a while. Let me look at what I was going to say next.
The first thing I want you to ask yourself after, would you follow you? That's honestly the realest question. And if you're at this point right now where you're like, no, I wouldn't follow myself, I hope that just taking a look at how does your feed look right now? And we're going to work on that tonight. Your first impressions and vibes, like those first 9 photos, like that needs to be on point. New content consistently. Like there is someone right now that every single day you type their name in the search and you just go check them out. There probably is. There's probably someone that you're always happy to see their feed, or you just go see what they're doing. They probably have new content every day or every other day, correct?
I guess the people I follow have more interesting videos, like Turnaround Alan, when the guy asks Alan random questions while he's turned around. Although I guess now Alan has turned around, but do you know what I mean? Like, I stick around for that kind of thing because I'm like, what's Alan going to say next? So I guess I don't necessarily go back to be like, oh, they're in their pink and gray area and I'm living for it. I don't know, but
correct? If they didn't, you'd be like, okay, well, they probably don't have new content. You'd forget about them. That's what's happening to you. Vibes and looks with presets. Okay, so would you follow you? Is your page inviting? Is it engaging? Would you give a damn about your page if you didn't know you? So that's number one. Second, what will you stick with? Stop setting goals and stop swinging the pendulum so far right that you're like, okay, I'm going to have all the presets and I'm going to post 3+ times a day and I'm going to do 70 stories a day when you're currently doing none. How about we just start with 1 post a day or 1 post or 5 posts a week and like 5 stories a day? Like, don't swing so far crazy that you can't stay consistent with it.
5 stories a day? Oh my God, who has time for this?
The other tip that I have for you is there's no way that you're going to stay consistent with it if you don't love it. You've got to love it. And by that, I mean what you're talking about. And that's what happened to me is I did not love what I was talking about. I shared this in our goal planning session the other day. I found that I was very much in a place where I felt uncomfortable when I was posting on social media. I felt fake. I felt inauthentic.
Why? Give an example of the kind of content you were posting and why it felt inauthentic.
And that could be what's stopping you from posting. And this lasted for me for a very long time. I didn't like the idea of me taking a selfie after my workout and being like, you guys, today I didn't want to work out, but I did it. And I'm glad that I can. And you can too. Like, I just felt like such a freaking fake person. It's not who I am.
Okay. That's a concrete example. I appreciate that.
I will talk like that with my customers that are in my challenge group, and I'll go in and I'll go live and it'll be interactive.
So it's not authentic when you post it to the world, but it's authentic when you post it to your challenge group. I don't know. I guess like I'm a very similar person on the internet as I am in real life. So I guess I don't understand this. I can understand not wanting to post personal things maybe to the internet that maybe you would share with, your family or friends, but I don't know, this whole like I would never post this kind of content publicly, but I would post it privately seems, I don't know, unless it's like something very personal, I don't really understand.
Active and like I can give them where I struggled in the morning and how I'm so happy that I did it, but live, like it's a conversation. It's not me preaching. And that's just my personality. So I felt very,
if you want to preach, go ahead.
Very stuck for a long time with how do I share what I want to share? How do I push my business forward? How do I make it relevant and in front of people? How do I let people know what I do? I'm a fitness and health
coach who looks naked right now.
Coach, how do I talk about that? I am a fitness and health coach. It's what I do. It's not who I am. And that was the disconnect. It's not who I am. It's not who I am to my core. It's my job. And yes, I work out. And yes, I love pizza, but I'm fit AF. And to me, that's just my brand. It's who I am. And I love sharing that once someone has gotten to know me and they're working with me. And I love sharing all the tips and the tricks and like the mocktails and the cocktails that you can have and you can enjoy life. And like, that's a part of my business, but it's not where I lead from the front with. And it's not what I feel comfortable just coming out of the gate with. Does that make sense? It's spring.
I guess so. Like, I'm a marketing person. I guess my idea is that if you're watching this YouTube channel or have gotten this far in the video, you're watching me for my marketing content. You're like not watching me for like my lifestyle or how I take care of my dog or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Sprinkled in, but it's not what I could talk about day in and day out.
Yeah, like most of us are something beyond just our jobs. Understandable.
It's what I do and I love it and I'm passionate about it. And that might be where you're at. You might love helping people. You might love your business. You might love your digital product. You might love your business of coaching if you're a coach, whatever that is. And by the way, can we just pause there? If you don't love what you do, if you don't love and truly believe in the product that you are presenting to people as your business, and if you're not a business owner and you're just trying to grow your following, no problem either. We're going to talk about that. But if you're a business owner, if you're a coach, if you have a digital product, do you use it yourself? Do you love it? Because can I just say that's why I believe in coaching so much? Because if I get asked this question a lot. Do I have to send like cold messages to people? Do I have to cold call people? Ew, no.
Not when you're at the top of the pyramid, you don't.
No. One of the first questions that I asked myself 7 years ago, whenever I signed up to be a coach, I said, do I have to stand up in people's living rooms and like present? No, you don't. That's what I love about this business. You do the workouts yourself. You have the nutrition. There's like collagen and the pre-workout and all that. I literally have the pre-workout somewhere. That's, to me, that's this business. If you love it and you know that it can help people and you're doing it yourself and it's helped you, then it's not weird to share it. But it's sprinkled in. You don't lead with that because how could you, it's not who you are. It's
I understand what she's saying here, which is like, just don't try to keep selling people stuff because that's exhausting. But like, I would love to see what her social media strategy is, how she decides how something feels like a sprinkle versus a pour in terms of the amount of times I mention my body transformation or how healthy I feel or how much better I'm sleeping or whatever health outcomes I'm sort of presenting as a testimonial to the products, right? That's what people want to know. They understand don't sell all the time. Got it. But how do I know when to post content like that? And how do I know how often?
what you do. It's not who you are. So to me, that's part of sticking with it. That could be the consistency aspect as to why people aren't coming back to your social media, because there's no way that you can be consistent. And if you are consistent with selling every single day, you probably suck at selling because no one wants to be sold to. No one wants to hear about all of the things that they can buy from you. People want to see value. People want to learn. There's a reason why social media influencers that are like makeup gurus, why their makeup sells off the shelves, because they're not sitting there being like, buy this palette from me, it's amazing. They actually show you how to use it. That's why you watch them. You watch them for the tutorials. So that's, to me, how I see this business. And that's how I see social media is how can you be consistent, adding value through your passions and then connecting people to your business. Cool? Okay.
But like, when do I present the fact that I have a pre-workout to sell them? Do I just post that I'm using this pre-workout and wait for someone to comment and say, where can I buy that? Do I periodically post about it? Do I only mention it sort of in my stories and live streams and keep my grid clean? Like, what's she actually recommending here in terms of something concrete?
So will you stick with it? Again, don't swing so far right that you're like, I need to post 20 times a day and I'm going to do a bazillion stories. 3 to 7 posts a week. Okay? If you can stick
But 5 stories a day
with that, then you're golden. Do you have a recipe? And I don't mean a food recipe. Coaches love their recipes. Coaches.
I got to do some math really quick. So she's saying 3 to 5 posts a week in feed, and she's saying 5 stories a day. So if we add the stories as each thing is an individual piece of content, which it is, because in a lot of cases, it's like a poll or it's a short video. Stories are usually a little bit dynamic by nature. She's saying to produce between, if we account the stories, 38 to 42 pieces of content a week. And I want you to ballpark how long it would take you to make that. And for it to be educational and interesting and done in such a way that you would follow you. I mean, we're talking at least 3 hours a week by my estimates to do this. And that's on the minimum end. That's not you responding to comments. That's not you responding to messages. That's not you doing the other things you need to do besides social media to run your business. That is just creating the amount of posts that she's recommending here. Again, this is my opinion, having done this for 15 years.
Are just like, here, let me pull up a really weird pixelated photo off of Google or Pinterest, slap it up on my Instagram, and just copy paste the recipe. Friends, that is not value. That is something that they could have found themselves. And Instagram is not Pinterest. Newsflash. Know where you are and know that Instagram
is not Pinterest. Cool. I'm seeing how many stories she's posted today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's posted 6 stories today, and they're all Amazon links to clothes that she's trying on. So I don't know how well Beachbody's working if we're using Amazon affiliate links to make content in our stories. Just saying.
Instagram especially, and we're going to go into the other platforms, but Instagram especially, people are following you for you. So if you're sharing, if I just took a picture of this bottle and was like, this, oh my gosh, I've seen this a million times this week. Every time I'm like, why? Carl's like, wow, she's heated. Why are we, and if you've seen one
Carl is the dog. I can appreciate a dog named Carl. I love it when animals have human names.
of these, please laugh with me. Click, post, make sure you drink your water. Duh. There's no value in that. There's no value. You know why? Because it took that person 2 seconds to say that. I think that the time and effort and the energy, and above all, the authenticity, the give a shit factor is so big right now on social media. It's everything. And that's what's going to help you yourself be consistent as well. Because if you actually give a shit and you're like, that was a good post, like I'm proud of myself. And that serotonin is kind of up because
we take a break from watching that content to watch my favorite TikTok about drinking water, which I would duet if I was going to post about drinking water to social media.
I'm eating fruit tonight, keeping her cute tonight. No chips and sweets tonight. We sipping tea tonight. Drink your water, ho. Hey, it's flower juice tonight. Work out in the morning. Hey, purr. I'm eating.
I just love her. I guess point being is you can make anything interesting if you try a little bit. And I think that's what she's trying to say is like make a bit of an effort. Don't just try to sell the water bottle. Try to, think of something fun if you're going to talk about something basic like drinking water or anything basic, really. Back to our gal, Angie.
Because you're like, yes, that was good. And you go back and you see your feed and you're like, yes, like that. I felt like I provided value on that. Even if in the beginning you're not getting
or you had fun,
like a ton of engagement, if you felt good about what you put out, chances are you're going to want to duplicate that and do that again. So do you have a recipe? What I mean by recipe is one thing that
is that the third question?
I do is I will do a picture of myself and a picture of something that I'm loving. It could be my dog. Carl's right here. Carl, you want to say hi? No, he's sleeping after. It can be Carl. It can be my feet and where I am. It can be my nails. It can be just something that I don't know, my bag, my planner books, whatever. It's like a where I'm at right now. Kind of like the purpose of it is it's usually literally, this is how I take them. It's usually me like right up like this with like my feet out with like, I don't even know if the screen is wide enough to see my slip. No, the screen is not wide enough.
Do you think she has a lot of foot fetish people who follow her? Just wondering.
With my slippers or something so that the person and the viewer feels like they are me, that they are exactly where I am and they're in this moment with me, whatever that moment might be. That's kind of how I see it. And the reason why I came up with that is because I looked at my feed and I self-assessed, would I follow me? You know, that first question.
Do you guys remember that? I don't know if it was a Tumblr or something and it was like hot dogs or legs. If I can find it, I'll link it in the description. But basically people would post pictures and you had to try to figure out whether it was a couple of hot dogs or like legs. And it was often like at the beach or something. There were some pretty funny ones. Again, I'll link it if I can find it.
And I looked at my page and I was like, it's a lot of me. Like it's just a lot of Angie. Like, come on. There's more to me than just me taking selfies and smiling and whatever. So I do one of me, one not of me, one of me, one not of me. You can totally do that if you want to. Some people, they'll throw in like a quote as the third one. Some people will throw in whatever, like a landscape image, like a view of something. It can be whatever. It can totally be anything. But have a recipe, have a way in which you schedule out your posts. It could be even like topics. It could be fitness, food, your hobby.
So what she's talking about here, guys, is a content plan. Sometimes people call them content buckets. You basically can do this without buying her content machine. This is just you thinking through what are some important groups of marketing messages that I want to talk about and how do I want to create content around them. I have a couple of videos that I've done on my channel about that. I'll link them below.
Whatever encompasses who you are and the things that you love, have that recipe and it'll translate in your page without the viewer really realizing why it's so pretty, because it's just cohesive and they almost don't understand why they know what's coming. Like they know there's that level of certainty, which people love, but there's also that level of uncertainty, which people also love. So they know what's coming. And it's
like when you watch a Hallmark movie, like you know the basic structure of the plot, but you just don't know, is it going to be set in a village in Colorado that's about to be developed? Is it going to be set in big city New York? Like, is it going to have, you know, so-and-so as the main character? So yeah, so predictable and unpredictable. Yeah, I can see like people just want to know what to expect, and we can't blame them, right? The world is already uncertain enough.
It's within their comfort level, but you staying consistent and posting every day keeps them on edge and keeps it interesting. And that's why I think a recipe is really important. And it also simplifies it for you. So that to me helps me stick with it, because I know I don't have to think about it. Like today, I know that I needed to take a picture of me, and I grabbed my laptop because I knew what I was doing. And we're going to talk all about this, like how I came up with that. Not that complicated, but that was.
She keeps saying we're gonna talk about stuff. We're almost halfway through, so I'm not really sure how she's gonna have all this time to present new content and revisit this point she's already on.
Something that was making me not stick with it was, how do I know what to post? So having the recipe, but also having the topic in which you're going to speak about and where that's feeding from makes the biggest difference. So what you talk about and what your machine is. So I have this up on my screen right now and I'm going to share it with you guys. But if you didn't know, I think a lot of you guys.
Oh, I'm just going to take a little break and sell you this content.
Hopefully know. If you didn't, I wrote a book last year, and
this book is $17.99 at the time of recording. Right now it is like $10 more than this.
And it's like super cheap. I think it's like $17. It's on my website. You can print it out for yourself and bind it together and whatever. And yes, we are going to sell a printed copy eventually.
She's charging $27 or almost $28 for me to print out this whole thing and put it together myself. I can buy actual books for less than that. For example, do I have it here? So I want to show you something I paid $27 for. This book called Profit First. It's basically a way of looking at managing money within your company. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. It's kind of dense, but it has 184 pages of content. It has an index. It has even this little definition of terms. It has some little things that you can fill out to help you figure out and implement the ideas that are in the book. It's hardcover. And yeah, I'm not going to pay $28 for a 72-page PDF. Sorry.
And we're going to add to it and all that. But right now, the content machine, which is what it's called, is how I literally schooled myself this year. I wrote this book and it was part of how I was running my business. But I just thought to myself, like, Angie, what if you really dove in with this? And this was how I was able to grow my Instagram, because YouTube was already growing and I had it, but I didn't see it as my lead platform. And what your machine is you basically have your lead platform and then you have your complementary platforms. Every single thing that I post on my Instagram, I don't have to think about it because it is all stemmed from YouTube. Every single thing that I think about. So today, I went downstairs and I set up my camera and I had this is a really good tip that I'm going to give to you guys right now.
Great.
So if you have a camera, you can get Canon Connect, the app, and you can set the screen from your camera to be showing on here. So I can literally go like, okay, click. I can't do it right now because I'm literally on it. Yeah, I can't do it right now because it's literally going to turn my camera.
You could just like take screenshots of it maybe.
But this is what the thing looks like. It's a very simple app and it's searching for it right now. But what will happen is what I'm looking at on that side screen shows up on your phone and you can hit the shutter button. So you can take the photo. There's also remotes, or you can set a self timer on your phone, which is most of the time what I do. That's how I took my IGTV cover photo today. So I would need to pull my notes back up. So when I went downstairs today to take my picture, I knew that I was going to be doing this. that's my topic. It doesn't become awkward or weird anymore because I'm someone, and this varies from person to person. I am someone that I feel so much more authentic just talking to you guys. I feel very, very weird writing things out. That's why a blog for me would be very difficult. But I have a point, and it won't be if I do it this way. Twitter for me is very difficult. Using my words, like I'm not a word emotional person. Some people are. Do that. Then your lead platform will become Instagram or your blog. My lead platform needs to be video because it feeds everything else. That's how I'm able to be everywhere. I get that question a lot. Angie, how do you have the time to run a coaching business? Our team has been in the top 10 twice. We've been elite 6 times. I've been a coach for 7 years. Elite is the highest thing you can achieve. So out of elite, our team has done it in the top 10 teams twice, 6-time elite. And we've been the top team in Canada for 4 years straight. Number 1 in Canada. So how do you do that? That's my main business. YouTube is not my main business. How in the world is the thing that's generating the revenue and the actual money of how we live our life there? And you're doing that, but you're also building social media, which, to be honest, is part of my business. So how do you do that? By doing it smart, by having a machine. So I have my lead platform, and that's how I'm able to stay consistent with it. So I know going into a week what I'm committed to. And right now I'm committed to 1 to 2 videos a week on my channel or on this channel. So I already posted on Tuesday on my main channel, and then this one will probably count for today because I can't kill myself. I am flying tomorrow. So I don't know how in the world I would post another video today. And I try and keep it simple. So I know what I can stick to. I'm not going to do a daily video every single day for the rest of my life. I can't do that. It's a lot whenever I do that, but I love it. So when you're thinking about what will you stick to, do you love it? What's your plan? Like, how much can you actually...
Wait, are these other questions? So we have, would you follow you? What will you stick with? And do you have a recipe? I wasn't sure was the third one. So I'm just really confused as to like what question number we're at right now. And if this is sub questions of, do you have a recipe?
Don't let the pendulum swing so far. What do you want to talk about? What's your machine? And most of all, is it authentic? The bullshit factor, the bullshit meter that people have, like this year, is the highest it's ever been. People can see BS a mile away. They can literally, they can read your Instagram post, they can see your stories, they can see your channel or whatever video that you've done or your picture, and they go, yeah, she's full of it. I think that that's amazing. And that's why I love video, because I am a bit quirky and I am a bit animated, but it's really how I am. And I think that that translates. Like, no.
I think people becoming more skeptical of MLMs during this period is probably not helping her bottom line. And I think that's why she's really de-emphasized Beachbody in the last little while. Like, if you watch her recent content, she doesn't really mention Beachbody, and she's talking about doing other things. And I think that's why.
No one ever really questions, like, leaves my channel is like, she's so funny. Like, it's just, I am who I am. You guys, I didn't even put deodorant on for this. And you guys,
this is a business person.
I always wear like strapless rompers in the middle of the winter, and I have a fan going, and it's like minus gazillion outside. I'm just me. And if it can make someone's day.
So you run warm as a person? Okay. Like, definitely be comfortable when you're recording, obviously. Exhibit A right here with me, but
a little bit brighter. If they can laugh, and best of all, like, just escape and just like be in it with me for 30 minutes or whatever, then I'm so happy. Like, that's why I do it. Everything in my mind is never calculated. It's just me trying to figure out.
She literally just talked about how she had a recipe for posting content. And now she's saying nothing I do is calculated. So, like, what is it?
How can that person leave here better? Like, how can they laugh? How can their day be brighter? And how can I simplify something for them? It's by me being the most authentic. And that's how I know how to stick with it, because then I'm not sitting there having to re-record a video 20 times. I don't ever, by the way, re-record a video. I am super good at like doing live, because I don't second guess myself. I don't have a script. I have a couple notes, like whatever I'm saying to you guys, I have notes, but not huge amounts of notes. When I first started social media, and
But she has to understand that if somebody's just starting to do video work, that it is uncomfortable to start. I've been filming myself for 17 years, which is why I think I come across as pretty comfortable on camera, even if I'm not like the best video editor in the world or something like that. But she has to understand that people who haven't done this before, they're going to need multiple takes. They might need more notes. They might need a bit of a script, and that's okay. It's a perfectly valid way to be on video, is to need some structure, especially when you're starting off. But even some of the best YouTubers out there script things and do multiple cuts and all of that.
Started doing videos, I would
Oof, this is a long one, so we're going to make it a two-parter. Part 2 will be posted next week, so feel free to subscribe to the channel to get notified of that. If you have a guru you want me to react to, you can leave it as a comment below this video, or you can use the contact form of our website to submit it, and that will come to me, and you can tell me a little bit more privately. If you have a hankering to keep in touch with us, you can join our monthly email newsletter. If you go to breakingevening.com/newsletter, the sign up form is on that page, but also samples of the newsletter are on that page. So that's a good way to lightly keep in touch if you want to do so. And thanks for watching, because these gurus, they keep on coming. But the good news is you have a friend, that's me, in the marketing business who's going to call them on all their bullshit. Take care.